Hello, my friends, and welcome to another weird and wacky afternoon slash evening of me slowly plodding through my retro game collection and taking photos of my games and typing them up. And the never-ending attempt to... Whoa! Oh my goodness, Sir Punks-a-Lot, hello! And thank you so much. Wow, thank you for the 5 gift subs. You're a champion, Sir Punks-a-Lot. Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed. I'm blown away at your generosity. Thank you. So yeah, let's get organized. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to try and do some organization. My game room is an absolute disaster. It is embarrassing how terrible this room is. I got stuff everywhere. I got cords and controllers on the floor. I got tubs and boxes spilled over, and it looks like an earthquake happened in here. I would show you around. But the thing about that is well, you know what? I can give you a brief glimpse around the room. I can do it. It's gonna look bad. Alright, we'll get this out of the way. Get my camera up. Okay, let's get a little bigger here. So, hello. Oh man, you're gonna get ready for your opinion of me to plummet. Okay, so like this is where I stream from here, and I've got my LCD for my Switch games, my CRT for my retro games, and I've got, you know, games and cartridges all just kind of piled up over here. Messy room reveal, I know. I've got a bunch of cords and wires down here, controllers and stuff. I'm not taking very good care of anything. There's the Sword of Reset. And the just boxes of Atari games. And then, let's see, I can't really see what I'm showing you. And then I've got everything just scattered all over the floor in just a huge mess. And largely this is the result of me being very disorganized in my pre-stream planning. So that's what my room looks like. That's why this inventory and cleaning process is so important to me. Oh, and hello, Lucid Jelly. So yeah, that's what my room is like. And yeah, the disorganization in my streaming process is what leads to this sort of chaos, because when I don't plan ahead for my streams, I get down here and I sit down and realize to my horror that I'm missing some cable or controller or something that I need for the game that I decided I want to stream tonight. And so I tear through everything looking for it like wild. And then I just leave all the mess because because I'm very disorganized. The room is clean though. There is nothing gross in this room. There's no like old food or drinks or anything like that. It's a clean room. It's just a messy room. But anyway, let's switch over to the proper camera. I'm painting minis. This is nice to have on in the background. Right on. If you can grab a picture of your minis. Well, I broke the, tried to switch the camera, and instead I broke the camera. Let me try that again. Oh no! What have I done? Why won't my other camera work? There we go. Sorry, this is just a disaster. I'm just as disorganized virtually as I am in the physical world. Okay, so my plan for today, I've got a couple Nintendo 64 odds and ends that I want to get photographed and logged, and then I plan to move on to my Super Nintendo collection, and that's probably what we're going to be seeing today. Oh, and Sir Punkslot, I was gonna say, if you can take a photograph of your minis, when you get them done, why don't you throw them up in the Discord so we can all admire your work? I'm doing a walking workout, which makes typing difficult. I can imagine. I can imagine. I can barely type sitting still. So you can see here the table where I've been working. I just got tons of stuff piled up on, so first step is going to be to clear off this table, take care of a couple Nintendo 64 odds and ends, and then we'll break out the Super Nintendo games and start taking some photographs. So I'm going to step away from the mic for just a moment and get some things shuffled around here, and we'll get going. The deodorant is of particular interest. That's my Old Spice. Never leave home without it. As I brought up on stream before, again, like I'm a guy. I really like to be clean. I put on deodorant before I stream, even though no one's gonna be in the room with me. I want to be at my best. Hello, Zinshan. Hey, thanks for dropping by. I do the same thing, right on. Oh, it's great. It's always great to know I'm in good company. Hello? Sorry. I'm moving my laptop so I can see my screen from where I'm going to be working, and I keep pulling on my USB devices and messing things up. I killed my microphone for a moment, I think. I think you can hear me now, though. Can you still hear me? Yeah, it looks like it. It happens. So how have I been, and what are we going to be looking at today? I've been great, Sinshawn. Thanks for asking. I hope you've been well, too. And I'm planning on... I'm going to take care of a couple Nintendo 64 odds and ends real quick, and then we're going to move over to Super Nintendo stuff. Provided I can actually get moved without killing the stream. And we can hear you. Thank you, Sir Punks, a lot. It's always good to receive feedback, because I never know when I could be making a terrible mistake. Been playing a lot of Witcher 3 and sorting some stuff out, so I've been pretty busy lately. I played a little bit of The Witcher 3 myself. It's such a big game. I really liked it, but games like that are so big, I can never make a ton of progress in them. I'm way too easily overwhelmed. I have a ton of Super Nintendo controllers. I've got my one that's plugged in all the time over there. I've got 2, 3. It's a Famicom controller and a broken Super Nintendo controller. Another Famicom, 3 knockoffs. 2 more Super Nintendo controllers. I got them out and I was looking through them because I was watching something on YouTube about retro game controllers, and the guy was pointing out, when it comes to the Super Nintendo controller, that when the console got redesigned, the controller got a new model, and you can tell the difference between the regular one has the oh, you can't see anything. My camera's broken again. My goodness. So I was fumbling all these controllers around. That's what you couldn't see there just a second ago. But anyway, so the Super Nintendo controller, like regularly, it's got the Super Nintendo like screened onto it. But when they redesigned the controller, they engraved the word Nintendo on it. And these are the controllers that came with the Model 2 Super Nintendo. But the guy was saying that he thought these were a lot better than the original one. And I don't know. I didn't even know if I had one. I went looking through my controllers, and sure enough, luckily I do have one. So I'm going to try it out and see. But just at a first impression level, I don't know. I don't know if I like the D-pad as much. It feels really different. Been busy here too, honestly. I'm GMing 2 different Pathfinder campaigns, and soon will be resuming a 3rd. That sounds like a ton of work. That's how I felt the first time as well. Second time around is much better. I have a SNES Capcom pad. It's literally the best SNES controller I've ever used. I don't think I have a Capcom pad. I'm not even sure if I know what that is. Okay, so I think the only Nintendo 64 game I haven't gotten into my inventory from my collection is Harvest Moon 64, so we'll get that one photographed. So that brings, I think that's the last of my Nintendo 64 games. That brings the Nintendo 64 game collection to 129. It's a lot. It's a lot. The Nintendo 64 was my largest collection for a long time. I think that NES has surpassed it, though. I think I have more NES games than I do Nintendo 64. It's difficult to tell because I got rid of a lot of games when I moved from Texas to Wisconsin. Most of them football games and baseball games, like stuff like that I'm never gonna play. Like even I'm not a sports game kind of guy. Even the best sports game isn't gonna hold my attention for very long. So I got rid of a lot of that kind of stuff that I had in my collection. A Bug's Life, I remember that one. So you know what? I actually don't think I own a Bug's Life anymore. These two games here, A Bug's Life and Magical Tetris Challenge. I don't remember getting rid of them, but I can't find them either. So I think they're gone. A Bug's Life. The best sports game is Mario Strikers. I don't know if I have that. So I do like the occasional novelty sports game. And hello, Mazen. Great to see you. Thanks for dropping by and seeing what I'm up to. I don't know if I have that one or not, but I do like those sort of novelty sports games, like Mega Man Soccer, and the Mario sports games are pretty cool. I play a lot of Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy. So it's not all sports games, but for me they have to have like some fantastical kind of elements to them. Bye bye Bug's Life. I know. I don't know why I would have gotten rid of it. That's the first game I ever remember being disappointed in my purchase. I bought that game and I completed it in less than 24 hours. Rip Bug's Life. Knocking stuff off my table onto my computer, that's probably not a good move. Make sure the video's still moving. Yeah. Super Mario Strikers for the GameCube. I know nothing that ever came close to that in terms of sports games. I'll have to keep an eye out for it when I finally get around to the GameCube section of my inventory. That's the manual booklet. That was the only place that ever mentioned the full second name of Ganondorf. Dragmire, right? N64 and SNES are probably my most fondly remembered systems in general. I had an SNES in my room for a bit, but I remember playing on the Nintendo 64 while my brother was away. Right on. It might be the SNES and Nintendo 64 that I'm most nostalgic for as well. I don't know. It's the NES, probably the NES to the Nintendo 64 are like my real sweet spot. Those three consoles. Keep my manuals bunched together by keeping them all in a Ziploc bag. Okay, just a few more Nintendo 64 odds and ends here. Memory cards, rumble packs. You did your homework, Frownie. I'm proud of you. It is indeed Ganondorf Dragmire. Someone read his manual. I was a big fan. Does he get a gold star? I'll gladly take one. Yeah, I like it. I'm a big manual guy. Reading the manual is really important to me when I get really into a game. I don't make time for it with the games I stream nearly often enough. Hopefully, as I get more responsible and plan my streams in advance, I'll also, as part of that, try and make time to read the manuals before the stream a little more often. So these two memory cards are way older than these three memory cards. I don't even think these two work anymore. I wouldn't trust them. This is currently my go-to memory card. I've never used these. That's why they're still in the plastic. I've got 3 Rumble Packs, so if I ever have a Nintendo 64 multiplayer night, one person's gonna feel really unloved. And finally, one transfer pack. 3 times Stone of Wisdom. In Ocarina of Time, isn't it called the Stone of Agony? Okay, now there are some more Nintendo 64 bits around, like the jumper pack. I think I own 3 Nintendo 64 consoles. I have three sets of power adapters and cables, which I think means I have 3 consoles. I don't know if each of them has an expansion pack or not. 2 of them do. Not sure about the third one. And then I've got tons of controllers. Probably got 2, 4, 6, 7. Probably have somewhere between 6 and 8 controllers. Probably 8 or more, because now I'm remembering I got that weird Super Pad controller. Actually, I think I just saw that. I think I'll take a picture of that. I think so. Maybe that I only played the German version, and that translates to Stone of Wisdom, since it quote-unquote knows where the secrets are. Yeah, I think in the English version, it's called the Stone of Agony, which is a really bizarre title for it. I think just because you get it from the people who are cursed in the Spider House. What a weird controller the Super Pad 64 is. It's almost normal, but still not quite. The connection to the Skulltula house might be the influence for that translation. I think it probably is. Okay, now I think I'm done with Nintendo 64 for a little while. I'm going to start gathering some Super Nintendo stuff. Okay, first up, I guess, is the boxed things. I don't have a lot of stuff in boxes. I got a Super Nintendo controller in the box, though. It's still got the plastic wrap on it, but it has been torn open. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's a what? It's not even what's in the box or what's on the box. It's a late model. It's one of those. I was talking about their redesign with the engraving. I didn't even know that. It's one of those. So that's pretty cool. I've never taken it out and looked at it before. What is your opinion on Super Metroid? I have not completed Super Metroid. I played somewhere between the first third to the first half of it, I would estimate. And what I played of it, I thought was wonderful. But just because stuff got in the way, I didn't finish it. I'm planning to do it on stream sometime. It's a game. It's one of the few games that I tried to play, like roughly a decade ago on an emulator, and it felt no good. I wasn't enjoying it. I thought I hated the game, but I picked up a copy of it on. I got an original hardware, an actual physical copy of it, 5 or 6 years ago. And just the sampling of that was immediately way better. But the only Metroid game I've completed so far is Metroid Zero Mission. And by completed, I don't mean 100%. I just mean played and beaten. I don't know. Is this little flimsy piece of paper, does this count as a manual? I don't even know. I never played it either, but people keep saying it is probably the best Metroid. If only I liked that series. I think my husband loves that game, but I can't be sure. He's not here, so I can't ask him at the moment. I only play Metroid 1 and Fusion because I can't stand Metroid in general. I feel like the list of games you like, Mazin, is not a very long list. Indeed, I'm kind of special when it comes to video game taste. My expectations are mostly too high. So Metroid 1, I played a good deal of. I've made it far enough in the game to find the Varia suit, though it turns out I cheesed it when I found that. I later found out. I found the super jump. I beat Kraid. I never found Ridley though, so I've never made it that far into the game. Metroid, the original Metroid, is a game I really want to love, but it's so difficult to play blind that I don't know if I'm ever going to complete it, because I'd really like to do it without just following a guide, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I hate when I lose a life in that game grinding to fill my health back up. That also kind of kills that experience for me every time I play it. When I was trying to get into it a couple years ago, my strategy was to just start it from the beginning every time I played, so I wouldn't have to grind my health back up if I lost a life. If I died, I just reset and started fresh. And so I got really good at picking up the few items that I knew where they were and finding Kraid, but I never figured out how to get all the way to Ridley. I just happened to main Ridley in Smash Bros, and that was the only reason I had to at least play his first game to justify me picking him in Smash. So, my copy of Killer Instinct, this is the only game I have that's still sealed in the box. It's never even been opened. It's not even cracked. It is an American copy of the game. It's got Korean stickers all over it because I bought it in Korea. But there's something somewhere on the back. Yeah, it's got the like item code and for sale and use only in US, Canada, and Mexico and Latin America. So I don't know, I guess if I ever want to stream it, I'll open it up, but I've never been in the mood to play Killer Instinct, so in the box it remains. I kind of like that Ridley also hates Samus just like me. You're out of control, Mazin. Hey, Mega Man X. This one has been opened. I'm not sure how complete it is. We'll find out together. It's another one. It's got Korean stickers on it, because that's where I bought it. And nice. I'd say that's looking fairly complete. I better fill out and send in my warranty registration. I gotta retake my Killer Instinct photo. I've got a second Killer Instinct manual. I always married Rick and more friends in Mineral Town in part because I hated Karen and wanted her to be alone. That's brutal, punk. I had T2 on Game Boy, but I never made it past the first boss. I don't even know if I have T2. We'll find out. I might only have the manual. There are a few games where I only have the manual. I actually have 2 copies of Mega Man X. Getting all this stuff into the photo is a little tricky. This box really wants to fall apart. Seeing all that really makes me miss the 80s and 90s of gaming. That era was something else. That's why I love going through this old stuff. It really gets the nostalgia flowing. I just found out I can add more than one picture to an item in the inventory. That's great. I was concerned about that because when I get to the consoles, I want to take pictures of the reverse side so I can get the serial number in a photo. See, one of the great things about this inventory and the streams of it is now I've got documentation of my game collection if God forbid I'm ever burglarized again. Do you go back in time, or why is SNES after N64 in your order? I'm not going through the stuff in any particular order, Mazin. I just started with Nintendo 64 because that's what was closest to the table. I actually started with Virtual Boy because that was small and easy to finish up and put away real quick. And then I just grabbed Nintendo 64 because it was what was there. And then Super Nintendo just because it was next closest. I don't have any plans for the order I'm going through these in. Okay, and my last game that I have in a box is A Link to the Past. I actually have 2 copies of A Link to the Past. Got a loose one and a boxed one. It's got like this acrylic collector box on it. I don't even know how to take this off. I don't think they're meant to come off. I'm gonna need to find a thin tool or something. I guess NES and Game Boy is the biggest chunk then. NES is I think NES is my largest collection. Super Nintendo and Game Boy are roughly the same size. The NES is going to be difficult to catalog because my NES games are spread all across the room. I've got 3 separate collections of them. I don't know why I don't keep them together. Well, I do, because some of them are in cases, and so they're up on a shelf. And then some of them are in this spinning display that I showed off on stream a while back. And then the rest are just piled up in a shelf. No method to this madness. No method at all. The organization part comes later. That's the point of doing this, to get organized. Screwdriver to the rescue. Gets the acrylic box open. Okay, we got a lot of stuff here. I brought light to the dark world. What is this? Oh, it's a Nintendo Power. Alright, I could subscribe to Nintendo Power today. Legend of Zelda Top Secret Messages from Sahasrara? Oh, nice. It's got like a little checklist of like stuff you might not be able to figure out on your own. Let's see. Eastern Palace. Where's the big key? Look for a room where several bubbles are spinning around a jar. Defeat all the Stalfos. Rocklops and levers to make the bubbles fly away from the jar. Pick up the jar, step on the switch, and you will reveal the chest hiding the big key. That's pretty cool. I can imagine that would be useful. Got the manual. I don't think anyone has ever read this manual before. It doesn't feel like it's ever been opened. I only recently played through A Link to the Past to close my only gap in the Zelda series, and I never knew that A Link to the Past is actually the first game where Ganondorf made his debut, at least as a text message mentioning him. looks like we've got a map. This is a huge map. It's got maps of the first 3 dungeons too. All right, cool. I like this. Dude, speaking of manuals, I remember my favorite was Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I love the enemy roll call / monster showcase. And I remember there being a lot of monster art in that one. I'll have to look through it. I think I have the manual to Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So I'll give it a flip through if I come to it. Playing through A Link to the Past made me appreciate the 3DS sequel way more than I did without knowing the original. I never finished A Link Between Worlds. I made it till like I think I was 2 or 3 dungeons away from the end of that game. I liked it a lot, but I didn't love it. I try very hard not to be overly precious with the things in my collection. Like, I believe this stuff is meant to be played with and enjoyed and used, and if that means it accrues natural wear, so be it. But that is probably the last time this is going to leave the acrylic box for a long time. And as long as my loose copy holds out, I don't really foresee needing to break that one out. I 100%ed A Link Between Worlds, but playing it after A Link to the Past is a huge mistake that I shouldn't have done. Yeah, with the overworld being recycled, I imagine makes back-to-back playthroughs of those games less interesting. And that's all the boxed things that I have in my Super Nintendo collection. So now we're just going to be going through loose games and trying to pair them with manuals when I have the manuals. And we're going to start with probably some of the more dubious games in the collection. Like Dennis the Menace. Okay. The Lion King. Show off your best game cartridge, Castlevania The Adventure. That's still in the Super Game Boy on the other side of the room. I have the Castlevania The Adventure. I have the cartridge. I think I also... I don't know. I might have the manual for that one as well. I guess we'll find out when I get to Game Boy stuff. 100% the best game, 10 out of 10. Dennis the Menace? I think probably not. I played the first level of The Lion King so much. The Lion King, the second level of The Lion King, it immediately gets impossibly difficult. I think it's the second level, the one that's themed on I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Oh man, that level is rough. I don't think I've ever beaten this game. Okay. Looks like I got the manual to it though. Here we are, Mortal Kombat 2. I don't really like fighting games myself, but someone's probably excited about that. I have Castlevania Adventure EU version. I have Dracula Densetsu, aka Castlevania The Adventure Japanese version as a cartridge too. Awesome. I have the Genesis version of The Lion King. It's pretty tough. I think I might have the Genesis version as well. Let me take a quick look. I do not. It was all a lie. I am the Lion King. Lemmings 2, The Tribes. Liar King. That joke was terrible. Terrible jokes are kind of my stock in trade. Pilot Wings. Now, I really like Pilot Wings 64, but I've never been able to get into this one very much. -1 gold star. A Z star. Scooby-Doo Mystery. This one's rattling a little bit. Scooby-Doo Mystery is a game I should try to play it on stream. It's almost a cool game. I love me some Scooby-Doo. The game is interesting because it's almost like a point-and-click adventure game with the amount of like running around and finding objects and trying to figure out where to use the right object. It kind of works like one of those. It's frustratingly difficult to control, and it's so easy to get all your health drained. I don't know if there are any good games for Scoob. Yeah, this game's pretty. I've always found it pretty mediocre. It's hard to get into. Got The Jungle Book. Jungle Book for Game Boy was hard as a kid. I don't think I've played that one. Super Nintendo collection will be complete without Frogger. Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster Busts Loose. I feel like I tend to explain this a lot, but just for anyone who hasn't caught it before. A lot of my game collection was built up when I was in high school and college, and at a time when I really didn't have a lot of time to play all of the games that I bought. And so the vast, overwhelming majority of my collection are games I've never even played. So I don't know what they're like. Stunt Race FX. Jurassic Park. The Rocketeer. I loved the movie The Rocketeer when I was a kid. When that movie came out, oh, it captured my imagination in such a big way. I remember basically nothing about it at this point. I didn't have any of the games based on it as a kid. So I don't expect they're very good, but I don't know. I have to play them and find out. But I remember that movie made a huge impact on me, because after I watched it, I started drawing my own comic books about a superhero who his only superpower was he had a jetpack. That's like those people have 300 games in their Steam library from sales, but never played them and never will. I think that is everyone who has a Steam library. I think everybody who uses Steam has 300 games from sales they'll never play. I hope I'm not in the never play category, though. That's what streaming is supposed to help me take care of. Finally working my way through all my games. Mike Stucklasa also really likes that movie. It must be something then. It must be something about people who live in Wisconsin. We all love The Rocketeer. Shaq Fu, another required game for a Super Nintendo collection. I was looking around because I believe I also own Shaq Fu on the Genesis. I was gonna put the two copies side by side, but I don't know where the Genesis version is. I have Steam, but I only have a handful of games in there which I've played through at least once. The only real reason for me to have Steam is TEW 1 and 2, which I played about 200 hours each. What is TEW? The Evil Within. I've never played it. I don't even know if I've heard of that. Best horror game ever, I swear. Maybe I should check it out. Actually, one of the best games overall. I do like a good horror game from time to time. shuffling stuff around too much. The game I have the most hours on for Steam is House Flipper. All you do is clean and buy furniture and paint. I think the game I have the most hours in is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Okay, back to business. Super Turrican. Mortal Kombat. Space Invaders. I'd have a retro arcade on Super Nintendo variety stream night and do things like Space Invaders and Frogger and something else that's from the arcades. Paperboy, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that was ever in arcades, but it's very arcadey. If we talk single games, not series, then I think Splatoon 2 barely worked itself up to my most played game. But if we talk franchises, then it's definitely Pokemon. I really like Splatoon, but I'm absolute garbage at it. You already did Burger Time. I don't have Burger Time on the Super Nintendo, so it wouldn't be part of that same variety night. But yeah, I did Burger Time. I tried to do a Burger Time twice. I tried to play it. I did a Atari 2600 variety night, but my copy of Burger Time wouldn't work. And man, Burger Time, that was a terrible time. I made no progress. I had thought, Mazin, because I knew you were into Splatoon 2. I thought, man, if I ever streamed Splatoon 2, Mazin would tune in and he would get high blood pressure from watching me play. You would be so irritated by how trash I am at that game. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I think I have Super Street Fighter 2, and I have Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but I do not have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Kablooey. Kablooey by Kimco. Whoever owned this game felt the need to write in Sharpie Kablooey Kimco on it. Like, the sticker wasn't enough. They also had to label it with Sharpie for no reason. It's looking pretty nasty on the back, too, this copy. Splatoon is supposed to be my main content after all, but I keep getting off track by a certain other 30-plus year game that doesn't let me alone for no reason. Kablooey appears to be spelled with a hyphen. I don't even know if this copy of this game works. It's so dirty. And this screw is so rusted out. I've never seen a screw on a video game that's turned completely to rust like that. That game needs some TLC. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Super Off-Road, the Baja. Oh man, I also love me some Power Rangers growing up. I wasn't the, like, that, wow, that Super Off-Road looks really discolored on camera. I mean, it's really discolored in person, but, like, compare it to this copy of, Mortal Kombat. So I wasn't super into Power Rangers. I was into it for the first maybe 3 seasons, but I wasn't the super fan that everyone else was. I fell out of it around the same time that the first movie came out, I think. It looks radioactive. Hello, Gaming Bull. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How big is your house if you can fit all those chunky big cartridges? I don't have a lot of space for living. I thought that, like, white dot was the, I thought it was like the little paper circle that comes out of a hole punch, but no, it's a drop of paint. Someday I'll do a stream. Someday maybe I'll do a stream where I'm sitting down and cleaning all these markers and paint off of these games, and trading out the rusted screws for fresh ones. Maybe that'll be interesting. Oh. Mortal Kombat 3. I had assumed that cartridge was supposed to be gold or something. No, I think that cartridge was originally gray, just like the rest. It's looking extremely, like, I don't know, moldy. Imagine his kitchen table being made out of stacked SNES games. Here we got Spawn. Super Battle Tank 2. This copy apparently used to belong to an Andrew Fisher. He scratched out his name on the back, but left it on the front. Super Baseball 2020. He didn't get rid of all the sports games. He used them to build all of his furniture. Exactly. I sleep on a pile of Madden carts. Okay, so I think we're roughly a third of the way through the Super Nintendo collection now. I've got to go grab another pile of games. We're currently at a count of, let's see, looks like 27 SNES games so far. Only a third, holy squid. I'm not sure I could last that long. It's already very late here. Like next day late. Well, I appreciate you making the time. I'm planning on going for about another hour. I don't know if I'm going to make it through all the Super Nintendo games in that time or not, but I'm thinking I'm going to work on this till about 7. Then it's going to be time for me to make dinner and do the things I need to do before it's time to come back for my regular nighttime stream at 11. Tonight, for anyone who wants to catch my nighttime stream, it starts around 11 p.m. Central Time. Tonight we're gonna do the Turtles arcade game on the NES, and then Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis. I gotta re-photograph Street Fighter 2 Turbo because I got 2 copies of it. Hey, Contra 3, The Alien Wars. We should be getting into better and better games as I move along from this point forward, I think. I mean, there's gonna be some great classics and some duds, but the percentage of great games should be much higher moving forward. Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. Dude, go to bed. I might actually leave. It was fun to trigger some nostalgia. I'm glad you're here, Mazin. And yeah, if you gotta bounce, you gotta bounce. Enjoy the rest of your night and sleep well. And I'll catch you again. Castlevania The Adventure. I'm gonna do that on my Wednesday night stream again. So Thursday morning, your time, I believe. It'll be this Wednesday night at 11 p.m. I might just try and make that a thing. I might just try and do Castlevania speedruns on Wednesdays indefinitely. We'll see. I think I can rest well knowing that your best game is already in your Super Game Boy waiting to be played. That's where it stays. Thanks for the info, no problem. No problem. And for anyone who wants to know, if you want to know what I'm streaming or what I plan to stream in advance, whisper me a request for the Discord link. I'll send you I can whisper you an invite to the Discord after the stream if you're interested in that. Just, whisper to me and let me know. And every Sunday I'm trying to post what I'm going to be streaming for the upcoming week. Disney's Goof Troop. I've never played this, mostly because I've heard that it's an excellent game to be played co-op, and so I'm saving it until I can play it with another person for the first time sometime. Goof Troop is such a good co-op game. See, there it is, even more confirmation. Clay Fighter. Some night I'm going to do a Clay Fighter stream. I own Clay Fighter 1, 2, 63 and a third, and Sculptor's Cut. And some night I'm going to stream all 4 Clay Fighter games, just so I can get them out of my system and finally play that ridiculously expensive Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. The 7th Saga. Why would you ever want to play that much Clay Fighter? Well, I wouldn't. That's why I haven't done it, but I'm tempted to, especially a Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. I mean, that's a rare, super expensive game. Not everyone has the opportunity to play that game on original hardware, and since I can do it, might as well take advantage of it. But believe me, if you don't have a copy, you're not missing out on anything. Donkey Kong Country, great classic game, old childhood favorite and dear friend. So now that I know that the game does tell you when you found all the secrets in a level, it does indicate it with an exclamation point. I'm gonna have to do another playthrough of Donkey Kong Country, or go back to our save file that we already started and try to 100% this. But I'm gonna finish up DKC 2 first. Finally, we've got another game with a manual. 100%, you know it. I would have done it on the first playthrough. I would have done 100%, but I didn't know about the exclamation point thing, so I didn't bother. Gotta bounce too, gotta eat dinner. Was nice to catch you live for once. Great having you here, Sir Punks a lot. Thank you again so much for the gift subs. I'm really blown away by your support. I really appreciate it. And have a great dinner. Enjoy the rest of your night. And yeah, I hope you catch me alive. I hope you catch me live again sometime. Catch me alive. I hope every time you catch me, I'm alive. But it's always great having you here and chat with me. Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls. Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. Earthworm Jim 2. We'll get to this game someday. The first Earthworm Jim is still tormenting me, so it might be a while before we get to this one. F-Zero. This is another game I want to play on stream. I've never really played it before. I'm intimidated by it, though. I understand it to be very, very difficult, so I'm a little scared to stream it. Kirby's Dream Course. Looks like I didn't actually get a picture of Lufia 2, I just typed it in. Arrow the Acrobat. Looks like this game used to belong to someone named Neil with 2 L's. Kirby's Dream Land 3. A lot of good memories and a lot of memories of suffering associated with this game. Just occurred to me, I do have another box for a Super Nintendo game. I believe I have the box for Kirby's Avalanche. I don't know where it is, though. Battletoads / Double Dragon. I've got 2 copies of this one. Kirby Superstar, another game I'm looking forward to streaming sometime in the future. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Hook. Illusion of Gaia. Indiana Jones's Greatest Adventures. Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics. Kirby's Avalanche. I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside for now and see if I can't find the box before I actually catalog this one. Plock. Mickey Mania, The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse. This is one that I think I might own. No, I was thinking I owned this one on the Genesis as well, but I think I'm wrong about that. Because I was thinking it'd be nice to play them both real close together and compare them. But I think I only have the Super Nintendo one now that I think about it. Battletoads in Battle Maniacs. C2, Judgment Clay. Miss Pac-Man. Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. And the Page Master. Okay, I need to go grab another stack of games. We're at 53 Super Nintendo games cataloged now. And probably about 2/3 of the way through the collection at this point, I think. Super Metroid. The new Metroid game on the Switch, I think that's coming out in October. So let's see, I got August and September. I think I'm going to try and stream... this and maybe some other Metroid games before the new one comes out, because that's something that I definitely want to play. That's really the only new thing I'm looking forward to that I can think of. You know, the only thing that has a release time attached to it anyway. Secret of Mana. Populous. $10. This cartridge, that sticker's seen better days. Tetris Attack. I'm really tempted. So I'm really tempted to do a Tetris night on stream and just stream a whole bunch of different Tetris games. That's probably going to be incredibly boring to watch if I do. But I'm just thinking, man, I've got Tetris on the NES. I've got Tetris and Tetris Attack on Super Nintendo. I've got 5 different versions of Tetris, or Tetris titled games on the Game Boy. We just do a whole bunch of Tetris. Ultraman. This copy used to belong to someone named Henson. I owned this game as a kid. This is actually not my childhood copy. This was something I got to replace my childhood copy. So, the only thing that I know about Ultraman really is what I know from this game, which isn't a whole lot. But I had this game when I was a kid, and I got really into it, and I was so into this game. I was so obsessed with Ultraman. I dressed up like Ultraman for Halloween. My dad made me a homemade Ultraman costume that year, which I wore with pride. And I remember drawing and like trying to design my own Ultraman monsters, which were terribly unimaginative. They're basically just the same monsters from the game, just with a few extra spikes added to them here and there. But it's just it strikes me as so odd how very much like into and obsessed with Ultraman I was for a while, even though this one weird random short pretty bad game is my only knowledge of Ultraman. Venom and Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety. Wanderers from Ys 3. Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. This is finally another game I have a manual for, I believe. Zombies ate my neighbors. I got 2 copies and the manual. I'll give it a quick flip through since I promised Sir Punks-a-Lot I would look and see. Well, look at that. It does have a sort of a enemy roll call type pages. So I've streamed this game once so far. Not a full playthrough. I got stuck and died and ran out of lives in a very ridiculous and somewhat embarrassing fashion. So it's a game I'm going to stream again sometime. It's very long and difficult, though. It's probably going to take me a lifetime to beat. Sparkster, another childhood favorite of mine. I've heard Rocket Knight Adventures on the Genesis is even better, and I own it, but I haven't played it yet. Sparkster is super fun. I would love to own it one day. It's good fun. I know that I've beaten it, or I believe I have, but I don't know how, because every time I revisited it, when you get to the section where you have to fight Axel, I think that's the evil Sparkster. He's named Axel, right? You have to fight him in like a boxing mech. I can't win that boss battle anymore. I don't know how I ever beat it as a kid, but that's where all my playthroughs of it in the past like decade or so have ended at that boss battle. I can't get past it. Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage. I didn't own this game as a kid. I rented it a couple times. I remember really liking it. Don't think I ever beat it, though. It might not be any good. I might just have just liked it because I liked Spider-Man. RoboCop 3. RoboCop versus the Terminator. Sim City. Another one I have the manual for. I don't believe I got this copy of the SimCity manual with my copy of SimCity. I think I got the manual later. Mario is missing. So they might all be coming up kind of soon here. I have a lot of these Mario edutainment games. It's another thing where it's like I'm tempted to do a Mario edutainment game night on stream. But what a terribly boring and weird night it will be. Mario Paint. I have lots of fond memories of Mario Paint. Many, many, many hours spent in Mario Paint. Largely trying to use the animation tool to make my own little videos. I make little animations and capture them onto VHS and splice a whole bunch of them together terribly to make little movies. Mario's early years, fun with letters. And hold on to your hats, because I got 2 copies. Mario's early years, fun with numbers. Mario's Time Machine. The Lord of the Rings, Volume 1. So, I mentioned that the copy of Ultraman that I own is not my childhood copy, even though I had the game as a kid. That's because I traded my copy of Ultraman to a friend for his copy of Killer Instinct. And then I took that copy of Killer Instinct and I traded it for this copy of Lord of the Rings. The Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. I love this game. I didn't own this game as a kid. My cousin had it and I would play it with him a lot. So I got fond memories of it, even though it took me a long time to get my own copy. Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Star Fox. Forgot to snap a picture of this one. Super Bomberman. Super Empire Strikes Back. Super Mario Kart. With the manual. Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Another one I want to try and do on stream sometime. This copy used to belong to someone named Jones. Super Punch-Out. Super Return of the Jedi. This copy used to belong to RSS. And wouldn't be complete without Super Star Wars. Tetris and Dr. Mario. I don't remember what I paid for this game, but I feel like I paid way too much for it. I think I paid like $40 or something for it. Maybe not that much. Okay, so I got just a few more games left to finish out the Super Nintendo here. Super Game Boy. I got 2 of the Super Game Boy. Monopoly. Super Mario World. These are largely going to be games that I've already featured on stream. An unfortunately terribly damaged copy of the manual. Earthworm Jim, one of my many nemeses. Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Super Castlevania 4. Super Mario All-Stars. I got 1 copy of the game but 2 manuals. Paperboy 2 with a whole bunch of stuff written all over it. Aladdin. Donkey Kong Country 2. And finally, for games, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, my all-time favorite. Got Andrew Fisher's name written on the, I don't know, sleeve. So, SOS, Clue, and T2. I own the manuals, I don't actually own the games. And I don't think I've ever owned these games. Alright, that's all my Super Nintendo games. I think we've got everything inventoried. I do have to put that Kirby's Avalanche in the inventory yet, but like I said, I think I own the box, so I want to see if I can find that sometime. And I do have, there are still Super Famicom games. I'm not inventorying those with the Super Nintendo because I can't play them on the same system. The Nintendo 64, I did the North American and the foreign copies together because I can play them all on a American N64 with the Super Pack adapter. It's a lot of SNES games. I'm going to see what the total is. Grand total 96 games. So smaller than the N64 collection. N64 came in at 131. But 2 of those were foreign duplicates of American games, so it's 129 unique games, I believe. And 96 on the Super Nintendo. It's pretty sizable, pretty respectable collection, I think. This might get noisy. I'm moving the mic. Sorry. But I'm pretty happy with my Super Nintendo collection. Of course, you know, there are things I don't have that I'd like to have. It'd be nice to have the Mystical Ninja game on Super Nintendo, Harvest Moon on Super Nintendo I'd like, you know, Earthbound, the Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger. I don't have a lot of our Super Nintendo RPGs that are, you know, great classic games, but are also now terribly expensive. So I don't really think I'll be adding those titles to my collection, but they're things I would like to have. I think you have the biggest collection of older games that I know. I mean, there are definitely people who have like way bigger collections than I do. You know, especially like retro gaming, sort of like YouTubers and stuff, like the really big guys. Like they've got collections that just absolutely dwarf mine. But yeah, I got a lot of games. So that's gonna wrap my stream up. I'm ready to head out. I need to eat and, you know, do some things before it's time for my regular nighttime stream. I will be back tonight with TMNT2, the arcade game on NES, and Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis, starting around 11 p.m. Central Time, if you want to catch me for that. Otherwise, I just want to thank you for being here with me and hanging out while I go through these games. I appreciate having the company. It's great to have people viewing, and great to have people chatting with me. It makes this very slow process a lot more fun. Thanks for showing us your collection. Hey, no problem. I said glad to do it. Glad that you're here for it. And yeah, a couple days, hopefully a couple more afternoons this week, I'm going to be able to show up for some spontaneous game inventory streaming. I need to get through my Atari 2600 games, my NES games, my Sega Genesis games, my Game Boy games. And then I think I'm going to catalog a lot of my like random memorabilia and stuff like that. Because I feel like I might as well just do everything. And I've got tons. Oh man, I have tons of disc-based games to inventory too. Yeah, so it's gonna be an ongoing project. All right, so why don't we head off for a raid? I think we'll pop in on. Let's see who's on. Can't wait. Take care, Frownie. Thank you, Zinshan. You take care too. I hope to see you again. All right, let's pop in on Hungry Goria. I usually raid smaller streamers, you know, people, you know, more new to streaming or who are about my size and followership. She's actually a pretty big streamer and doesn't really need the raid, but I follow her and watch her streams. I like her stuff, and she does retro content a lot, which is I think appropriate since we were just doing retro content. So we'll pop in on her stream and see what she's up to. So thank you very much for being here for my stream again. I can't thank you enough. I really love having you here. And I hope that you will be willing to tune in and catch me again sometime. But until we see each other again, take care, my friends.